So as we know, gratitude is the Ignatian way. It's the way of all Jesuit schools. And St. Ignatius knew that to be grateful is to open your heart. And when your heart is open, we expand outward our spirit of thanksgiving out into this world. And as we all know well, our theme for this year is for others. So it's always a great privilege of mine on this day every year to give thanks and honor special milestones of our service to prep for our staff and faculty. This year, we honor 4 employees who have collectively contributed 110 years of service to Fairfield Prep, and it's my privilege to honor them now. For 20 years of service to Prep, this beloved staff member has dedicated her professional career at Prep to welcoming and connecting our Prep alumni. She's a loyal staff member who sets the gold standard for events, reunions, and honoring our benefactors. She has known decades of Prep grads, from the earliest grads of the classes of the 40s to our youngest Prep alums who are so excited to return for their first 5-year reunion. Grandparents have come to know her as a warm and generous Prep host. Because of her dedication to building community of parents and grandparents, alumni and staff through our Prep auction each year, she has helped us to raise hundreds of thousands of dollars for scholarship, financial aid, and programs that support our brotherhood. She is a profoundly generous friend and colleague to Prep staff. Famous for her baked treats and hospitality, she is always the first to run to the aid of any Prep member who needs help. This person's name is synonymous with Prep alumni and generosity. She is a wife, a mother, a beloved grandmother. For her 20 years of service to Fairfield Prep, a true woman for others, please join me in congratulating Mrs. Kathy Norell, Director of Events and Stewardship. While she could not be with us today, I do want to honor our honoree for 25 years of service in absentia. This talented and dedicated leader has dedicated her professional career at Prep to finance and accounting. Due to her financial acumen and her heroic discipline, Prep has not run a deficit budget in 2 decades. She has led Prep through lean times and good times alike. She's helped professionalize our financial reporting and data analytics. For our boys out there in economics and entrepreneurship, she leads us regularly in updating our cash flows, our P&L, and our balance sheet to ensure Prep's financial strength. Her 2 sons are proud graduates of Prep, class of 17 and 18. The Prep leadership team and I rely on this gifted member of our staff. All of Prep can give thanks for her skilled financial management, for her 25 years of dedication in financial leadership to Prep, a true woman for others. We congratulate VP of Finance, Mrs. Nora Maggi. For 25 years of service to Fairfield Prep. This Prep educator still loves the classroom after all these many years teaching in the humanities. He is himself a graduate of Fairfield Prep, where he was a talented student athlete and leader in his class. This beloved faculty member is known for his keen intellect, his incredibly high standards in the classroom, and his ability to both engage his students and push them to ever higher levels of excellence, particularly as writers and thinkers. This son of Prep has also engaged in nearly every aspect of our Jesuit Ignatian mission, from Kairos to urban plunge to immersion. He is a quintessential example of the grad at grad, having experienced the Ignatian seminars and leadership. One of this Prep teacher's great avocations is music and art. He has long jammed with his own brothers on his bass and cheers just as loudly for Prep players and musicians as he does for our sports teams. He has been previously honored by Prep as the Ignatian Educator of the Year, and his colleagues look to him as a voice of wisdom, reasonableness, fairness, and commitment to excellence. He served faithfully as Department Chair of English. For over 20 years of his career, he could be found on the ice or the baseball diamond, passing along his years of wisdom and his respected old school style, including coaching our teams to 10 state hockey championships. He and his wife, also an educator, are the proud parents of their 3 daughters, who, while they will never attend Prep, have certainly grown up at Prep and are members of the Jesuit family for life. For his 25 years of heroic and generous service to hundreds of prep students and athletes, please help me in congratulating from the class of 1993, Mr. Matthew Sather. For 40 years of service to Fairfield Prep. This prep legend began his career in the history classroom, served as department chair, and was a fixture on the soccer pitch for decades along the side of the late and great Bruce Jaffe. A conservative estimate would suggest that this gifted Ignatian educator has taught and or counseled over 5,000 prep men in his career. And most remarkably, when asked, he can quickly recall a chapter and verse of every one of those boys, their families, and their stories. He grew up at Prep, lived through the great generation of Prep's legends, Jesuits and laymen and women alike, too many to name here. He was hired by the legendary Father James Bowler, S.J. While not himself a Prep grad, his brother and his son both attended Prep, and he embodies brotherhood and Ignatian generosity. He is known across the nation in our Jesuit schools network as the gold standard for attention and care of the whole person. His colleagues in our building and around the state revere him as a leader. Above all things, this honoree embodies Ignatian generosity and compassion as his highest values. Later in his career, drawn to the richness of the spiritual exercises, he went through a 3-year training program here at Fairfield University to become a spiritual director, mentor, and leader for laymen and women in our community. Being completely open to growth, this prep leader has quite literally been involved in every Jesuit Ignatian campus ministry and service program ever offered at Prep, including serving as an advisor to the Catholic Worker and Jesuit Volunteer Corps here in Bridgeport. He is a loving husband, father, grandfather, brother, and mentor to countless souls over decades here at Prep. He never misses the opportunity to greet Prepsters and colleagues in a Rupe hallway and spread the Christian warmth of his brother Jesus Christ. For his 40 years of undaunted, heroic, and distinguished service to Fairfield Prep, please help me showing appreciation to my friend and brother, our Dean of Guidance and School Counseling, Mr. John Hannerhan.